Et tu, Brute, then falls Caesar. You too, Brutus, then falls Caesar. This is how the mighty Caesar dies. Hello, everybody. Here we come to Act 3, Scene 1 of the play Julius Caesar, which is the climax of the play. And in this scene, we have Caesar being brutally assassinated by the conspirators who have planned meticulously how to assassinate him. So everything which happens in this scene is absolutely choreographed very well. And everyone else other than the senators and poor Caesar, they do not know what is going to happen to him. We know that all the senators are not conspirators, but the conspirators are a group among themselves which is very well knit, and that is they who have conspired to get rid of Julius Caesar. So in this scene, Act 3, Scene 1, we have before the Capitol, as you can see in the picture, the Senate sitting above, a crowd of people in the street leading to the Capitol, among them Artemidorus and the soothsayer. There is flourish, which means this announcement that Caesar is coming. Then enter Caesar, Brutus, Cassius, Casca, Decius, Metellus, Trebonius, and Cinna, who are the conspirators, and along with them come Antony, Lepidus, Publius, and others. So they are the other senators, but who are not conspirators. As a quick recap of this scene, what we will see in the following lines is how the conspirators did bring up the issue of the banishment of Publius Cimber, Publius Cimber is the brother of Metellus Cimber, who is one of the conspirators, and they just bring up the issue of the banishment of Publius Cimber so that Caesar can be cornered. They know that Caesar had banished Publius Cimber, and Caesar is a very haughty person and he will not change his decision, and therefore they bring up this issue knowing full well that Caesar will refuse and turn down the petition, and that will give them the excuse or the legitimacy to strike Caesar and bring about his downfall and his assassination. Act 3, Scene 1 opens with Caesar speaking the lines, and he says, "The Ides of March are come." And the soothsayer who is among the crowd says, "Aye, Caesar, but not gone." Here what it means, Caesar, the Ides of March have come, but the danger is not yet gone. And then we have Artemidorus, who is a teacher of rhetoric in Knidos and who is an admirer of Caesar. And he says, he's also in the crowd. He says, "Hail Caesar, read this schedule." Means read what I have written. I have brought you a letter and please read it. Then Decius Brutus butts in. Decius is one of the conspirators, and you know that he is instrumental in bringing Caesar to the Senate. And Decius says, "Trebonius doth desire you to overread at your best leisure this his humble suit." So Decius Brutus is trying to gain Caesar's attention so that Artemidorus's letter does not reach him. But Artemidorus is persistent and he says, "O Caesar, read mine first, for mine's a suit that touches Caesar nearer. Read it, great Caesar." So Artemidorus is pressing, that says that it is a letter, it is a suit, it is a petition which touches Caesar nearer, which is concerns Caesar's nearer. It is nearer to his security. Read it, great Caesar. Then Caesar, being the haughty person that he is, "What touches us ourselves shall be last served." Means whatever concerns me, I will read that the last. I will not read your letter, Artemidorus. Artemidorus is still pleading, "Delay not, Caesar, read it instantly." Caesar is annoyed and says, "What? Is the fellow mad?" Then Publius Cimber, he steps in. "Sirrah, give place." Means he tells the crowd to let Caesar move and to give him space. Then Cassius steps in and says, "What urge you your petitions in the street? Come to the Capitol." So he tells the crowd, so please do not stop Caesar in the street, but you all move to the Capitol where you can discuss your petitions with Caesar. So Caesar goes up to the Senate house with the rest of the crowd and the senators following. Now we have Publius Cimber, who's one of the senators, but he is not a conspirator. He says he knows nothing about the conspiracy, and he says, casually remarks, "I wish your enterprise today may thrive." Then Cassius is completely surprised and he says, "What enterprise, Publius?" Then Populus is a casual talker. He says, "Very well," and he advances to Caesar. But that has raised and alarmed Brutus and Cassius. Has the conspiracy been found out? And Brutus says, "What said Populus Lena?" Cassius said, "He wished today our enterprise might thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered." So Cassius is fearing that Populus Lena might have come to know about the conspiracy and is going to Caesar. So he's scared. He's afraid that Populus Lena might tell Caesar about the conspiracy. Then Brutus tells him, "Look how he makes to Caesar and mark him." So he tells to Cassius to look how Populus Lena goes to Caesar and how he talks to him. That way they can find out whether Populus Lena knows about the conspiracy or not. Then Cassius is absolutely alarmed. He says, "Casca, be sudden, for we fear prevention." Since Casca was built to make the first strike on Caesar, so Cassius is warning him, "Casca, be sudden, for we fear prevention." He is fearing that Populus Lena might tell Caesar and they have to act fast and quickly. So we fear prevention before somebody prevents us. And now Cassius tells Brutus, "What shall be done? If this be known," if this conspiracy be known, "Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back, for I will slay myself." So if this conspiracy is known, then I will kill myself. And if it is not known, then of course Caesar will die. Hi, I'm Smarajit Basu, and I'm educator of 10 years standing, teaching ICSE, ISC and CBSE students not only in English but also other humanities subjects including law. And in this video I've talked about Julius Caesar Act 3 Scene 1, and since Act 3 Scene 1 is pretty long, about almost 290 to 300 lines. It would be a very long video, so I have made it into 3 parts, and this is the first part or video 1 of Act 3 Scene 1 of the play. And if you liked the video, I would request you to please hit the like button, share it, and hit the subscribe button along with the bell notification. Brutus is absolutely he's trying to comfort Cassius and says, "Cassius, be constant. Do not be afraid. Populus Lena speaks not of our purposes. For look, he smiles, and Caesar doth not change." So had Populus Lena said anything about the conspiracy, Caesar would have changed. So, but nothing like that has happened. So Cassius, be calm, be constant. Then Cassius says, "Trebonius knows his time." Trebonius is one of the other conspirators, and he says he knows his time. Look, you, Brutus, he draws Mark Antony out of the way. So as they had planned, so they had to take away Mark Antony, and it was for Trebonius to take Mark Antony out of the way, and we have exhumed Antony and Trebonius from the Senate house. Then Decius steps in. Where is Metellus Cimber? So as per the plan, it was be Metellus Cimber who will have to go to Caesar to beg the banishment to revoke the banishment of his brother Publius Cimber. Where is Metellus Cimber? Let him go and presently prefer his suit to Caesar. The suit was to, as you've said, was to revoke the banishment of Publius Cimber. Now Brutus is his address. Now he's talking to Caesar. Metellus Cimber is near Caesar and press near. Now he's asking other conspirators to press near Metellus Cimber and to second his cause or to follow up or support his cause. Now Cinna says, "Casca, you're the first that raise your hand." So as it was planned, it was Casca who will make the first strike or raise his hand. Raise your hand means raise his hand. Then Caesar, now this is an ironic moment. Caesar is saying, "Are we all ready?" So where the conspirators are instead all ready, now Caesar is asking them, "Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?" So since there's been a delay, and because he was supposed to be crowned today in the Senate, so he's asking what is now missing, what is the delay, and what must the Senate must redress further before we come to the main business. Then Metellus Cimber, he says, "Most high, most mighty, most puissant Caesar." Most puissant means most powerful Caesar. "Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat an humble heart, and he kneels before Caesar." Caesar, now seeing that Metellus Cimber is kneeling before him, is very upset, and he says, "I must prevent thee, Cimber. These couching and these lowly courtesies, like kneeling, might force the blood of ordinary men, might impact or influence the ordinary people. and turn preordinance and first decree into the law of children. And such people who would be affected by these lowly courtesies and these couchings, they might be impacted and they would turn law and first degree into the law of children. Be not fond, that will be thought from the true quality, with that which melteth fools. I mean sweet words. So what Caesar here means that sweet words will not be change my decision. So do not be a fool and try to influence me with this kneeling and these lowly courtesies, low crooked courtesies and base spaniel fawning. So just like a spaniel is fawning on a master and a dog, so please do not do those. So such tricks will not work on me. Thy brother by decree is banished. So your brother Publius Cimber, I have banned him through law. And if thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. So if you are trying to influence me by these lowly courtesies, like a base spaniel fawning, I spurn thee like a cur. I remove you out of my way like a pariah dog out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied. Now Caesar is that haughty Caesar, that mighty Caesar, who is addressing himself in the third person and says, no, Caesar doth not wrong. Means I do not do any wrong. And nor without cause will I do anything. So I will not do anything without any proper cause. Will he be satisfied? So if you are asking me to revoke the banishment of Publius Cimber, I will not do it without a proper cause. Now Metellus Cimber says, he knows that Caesar is not going to listen to him. Everything is planned and choreographed. He knows that Caesar will not listen to him. He says, is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother? So he is now appealing to the other senators. Is there no voice more worthy than mine own? He is asking for help. And surely Brutus and Cassius step in. Brutus says, I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar. So supporting Metellus Cimber, Brutus says, I kiss your hand, Caesar, but not in flattery, desiring thee that Publius Cimber may have an immediate freedom of repeal. I wish that Publius Cimber's banishment is revoked and he'll have an immediate freedom of repeal. He should be free to come back to Rome. Then Caesar says, he's very surprised. He says, what? Brutus, as you can see in the picture. What? Brutus? You're saying this? Then Cassius steps in. Pardon Caesar, Caesar pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Caesar. So Cassius is also joining Brutus, and he says he's coming low to the foot of Caesar, falling to the foot of Caesar, and is asking for begging for the enfranchisement, means the giving back of the voting rights to the brother of Metellus Cimber, who is Publius Cimber. By saying these, the conspirators are trying to corner Caesar into the base of Pompey's statue, where they will be able to assassinate him. And knowing full well that Caesar will refuse, and Caesar as surely continues and says, I could well be moved if I were as you. He's telling Cassius and Brutus, I could well be moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. So if I could pray to move, then prayers would also move me, but I am not like you. But I am constant as the northern star. So we can see in the picture the northern star. So Caesar says, I am constant. I cannot be moved. I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. So of whose true fixed and resting quality means, as the quality of the northern star, it does not move from its position. There is no fellow, there is no equal in the firmament, means in the skies. The northern star stands alone, stands unique, and there is no other star which can match the northern star. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. The skies are painted with innumerable stars. Sparks means the stars here, they are all fire, and every one doth shine. So all the stars do shine. But there's one in all doth hold its place. Means the northern star is the one star which holds its place and does not move, and it's always constant. While telling about the constancy of the northern star, Caesar is comparing it with himself and with men. So in the world, it is furnished well with men. The world, just like the sky is full of stars, the world is also full of men. And men are flesh and blood and apprehensive. And just like other stars which are ordinary, people are made of flesh and blood, and they have their own weaknesses. Yet in the number I do know but one, that unassailable holds his rank. Yet in all the people that I do know, human beings that I know, but there is one person who is unassailable and holds his rank. He holds his forth, whatever his views are. There is only one person, unshaked of motion, and that I am he. So he holds his, whatever his thought of, whatever his decisions are, and is unshaked of motion. He does not change his decisions. And that I am he, I am that person, as constant as the northern star. Let me a little show it, even in this. So let me show my constancy even in this matter. I am not going to change the banishment decision of Publius Cimber. That I was constant, Cimber should be banished. And constant do remain to keep him so. The conspirators know fully well that Caesar will not accede to the request. And therefore they step in as per the script, and Cinna says, "O Caesar," and they have gone him to the base of Pompey's statue and is saying, "O Caesar." Caesar does not understand why they are pressing it so. He said, "Hence, go away. Wilt thou lift up Olympus?" So he's telling Cinna. So wilt thou lift up Olympus? Like lifting a mountain is an impossible task. So are you trying to still force this decision on me? Are you trying to do the impossible? Then Decius again steps in. He says, "Great Caesar," and they are cornering him together. All the conspirators are surrounded him. Then Caesar says, "Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?" So can't you see that Brutus is also lying in vain, kneeling in front of me, and I'm not going to change my decision? So that gives the trigger for Casca to strike from behind. Casca says, "Speak, hands for me." And he stabs Caesar in the neck from the back. Then Caesar is stabbed by several other conspirators, and at last by Marcus Brutus. So on seeing Marcus Brutus, his dear friend, also joining the conspirators and stabbing him, Caesar could not believe it. He says, "Et tu, Brute, you too, Brutus." Then falls Caesar. So this is the unkindest cut of all, as Mark Antony will later on say. "Brutus, you are my dear friend. Instead of saving me, you are joining the conspirators to stab me and to kill me." And then burst his mighty heart, as Antony later says. So Caesar dies. The senators are people retire in confusion. So there is a great commotion after the assassination. After the assassination, naturally there's a lot of commotion, there's a lot of confusion within the Senate, and most of the senators do not know, because all the conspirators had crowded around Caesar and killed him by encircling him. So Cinna, one of the conspirators, says, "Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead. Run hence, proclaim, cry it about the streets." He's overjoyed that they have succeeded in assassinating Caesar. And he says, "Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead." So they are equating Julius Caesar with tyranny, and which is dictatorship. And he says that it is dead, and therefore go and rejoice it and cry it about in the streets. Cassius also joins them. Cassius is the main conspirator, and he is also overjoyed and he joins them. "Some to the common pulpits and cry out, liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement." So go to the common peoples, where the pulpits, where the people are addressed, and cry out and tell the people of Rome that liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement has returned to Rome with the assassination of Caesar. Brutus is more sober. He is the more noble among all the conspirators, and says, and is addressing the senators and the people in the Senate. "People and senators, be not affrighted." As you can see in the picture, he says, "People and senators, do not be afraid." Be not affrighted means do not be afraid. So this is a ghastly sight, a gory sight, where Caesar is lying in blood on the floor at the foot of Pompey's statue, and naturally people are shocked and afraid. But Brutus is trying to calm them down and says, "People and senators, be not affrighted, fly not." Fly not means do not run. Stand still, stay where you are. Ambition's debt is paid. What he says, Caesar embodied ambition, and with his killing, the debt of ambition is paid. Then Casca tells to the other, "Go to the pulpit, Brutus." And Decius Brutus also says, and Cassius also, "Both of you go to the pulpit and address." Amidst this commotion, Brutus suddenly realizes, where is Publius? Because Publius Cimber is not one of the conspirators. He is just a senator who had been banished from Rome. He was part of the Senate because they wanted to have Caesar revoke his banishment. So Brutus is checking, where is Publius? Cinna says, here, quite confounded with the mutiny. Since he was not aware of the conspiracy, he is quite confounded, means completely perplexed and confused with what has happened. Then Metellus says, stand fast together, lest some friend of Caesar should chance. So let's stand together in case some friend of Caesar like Antony should come by. So Brutus says, talk not of standing, let us not stand together. Publius, good cheer, there is no harm intended to your person. So since all the conspirators, we just had the plan to just target Caesar, and we will not harm anyone else. No other Roman will be harmed. Nor to no Roman else. So tell them, Publius. So tell everybody, if you go out in the streets, tell the Romans that the conspirators like me and Cassius, we had planned only to assassinate Caesar and not to anyone else. So that people are not inflamed and so they are not afraid. Then Cassius says, and leave us, Publius, lest that the people rushing on us should do your age some mischief. So in case people find out that Caesar has been assassinated and they rush to the Senate, so if they should harm you, so please, Publius, leave the Senate. Then Brutus says, do so. He agrees with Cassius and tells Publius Cimber to leave the Senate, and let no man abide this deed, but we the doers. So this is the important part. So Brutus, being a noble, honorable person, in having assassinated, though he was a friend, that guilt will always be there with him. He did take the step to assassinate Caesar, and they have actually carried out the deed. And he tells the people that no one else will be responsible other than us, the conspirators, but we the doers, and no one else will be accused of having assassinated Caesar. With this, we come to the end of the first video, which I have said earlier, we have broken Act 3 Scene 1, which is pretty long, of almost 300 lines to 19 lines. I have made it into 3 videos of almost 100 lines each. So this was the first video, and this was we have come to that end. And if you need assistance regarding this play, or with the plot, the understanding, the explanation line by line, the MCQs, the short answer questions, the long answer questions, please do get in touch with me on the numbers mentioned, and I will be more than happy to assist you. And if you have liked the video, please hit like and share it with your friends, and hit the subscribe button along with the notification icon, the bell icon. Thank you, and till we meet in the next video soon with part 2 of Act 3 Scene 1, part 2 and 3. Bye bye till then.